Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to discuss remarketing creatives to inspire your ads. Basically, remarketing is someone saw my ad or they visited my website. They did not take the action that I wanted them to take. Now I want to advertise to that person again. So now we want to show ads to people who've already seen our ad or been to our website. So they have a touch point already, not someone who wouldn't know who we are or have never seen an ad or a website or anything like that. So that's really what remarketing is. And it's a really valuable strategy. You guys might have seen in other arenas this term remarketing where, it really helps, in my opinion, with your overall success metrics where you don't have to try to make all of the money the first time you touch someone. Sometimes it takes multiple touch points to get them over the hump, to get the action that you want. And it'll really, like remarketing is really like a profit type strategy to really help you get more conversions, more profit ultimately. So an easy win if you're already successfully running ads on, say, like Facebook, for example, is to start with remarketing. You're already driving a bunch of traffic to your website with your ads. You're probably already doing what we call middle or bottom of funnel, where you're remarketing to these people. You're probably doing that on YouTube, on Facebook already. And if you're not doing that on YouTube, you should absolutely be doing that on YouTube. You can take what's working already in remarketing from Facebook and just model that for the YouTube ad format. Should be a pretty easy win, because if you do that and you don't get it to work, you probably got some, creative work to do, or you might need to really look at your landing page in terms of, how you can simplify it, like we talked about in another lesson. Because usually if you're doing well with Facebook ads, usually when you take them and put them on YouTube, they usually probably is going to work pretty quick. So just keep that in mind that, go do remarketing first. You get that to work, and then you can kind of focus on top of funnel and kind of leverage kind of all of the plays that we're laying out for you guys. So if on the other hand, you don't have any ads working anywhere, you do not even need to be worried about remarketing ads yet. You need to make sure that you have ads that are already performing on some level for you. Really, you want to go back to your success metrics, and you want to identify when you're testing, based on the outcome that I want versus what is reality. That's going to really gauge whether your ads are working for you or not. And if your ads are working according to where you want to go, now you can start adding remarketing to the mix. But until you get that, I recommend you don't really, try to worry too much about that stuff. Okay, so we got that out of the way. You guys understand what remarketing means. And so in essence, really what we're doing, right, getting back in front of prospects who did not convert. And typically what that means is there's an objection. There's some reason why they did not do what you wanted them to do. And to me, that's really kind of one of the key secrets to our remarketing strategy is how do we overcome those objections? How do we figure out why these people aren't doing what we want, and then using that to address right in our ads. So here's a couple ways, some ideas of how you can kind of figure out what your objections are. Number one, you can call your customers. I know a lot of people, they feel that it's a scary thing, but you'd be amazed at if you're not talking to your customers, you're doing your company and your customers a disservice. The amount of gold that they're going to share with you is like out of this world. Not only that, I think what a lot of people, the negative feedback is what they're afraid of. But to me, I embrace negative feedback because that's going to allow me to improve what we're doing. And that's really the name of the game, is incremental improvement over time. And your customers, if you ask them a lot of times, they'll tell you like, I love this and this and this, but I don't like this and that. And this is why I was hesitant. And you can get a lot of information out of them. The other thing you can do if you're generating leads, you can talk to prospects who haven't become customers and ask them, why aren't you a customer? And that usually can lead to like so much amount of gold I can't even explain that, here in this moment right now. But really, talking to prospects is, you probably need some information to be able to reach out to them. So you probably need some type of lead. Maybe you collecting emails or phone numbers or something like that. And then you can use it as a mechanism to reach out, have a conversation with them about why they haven't become a client or a customer. Another really great strategy you can do is use chat software that you can install on your website. You've probably been to a website before where it kind of had a pop-up and they're trying to talk to you like right there on the website. Really powerful for getting feedback so that you can understand like what people are thinking, especially when they're in the mode of making a decision to whether to buy or not. It's a really great way to really get a lot of good information on what objections people are having. And the last one is probably the simplest, most basic. It's like get out and talk to people. Go out in public and have conversations with people. Maybe not the easiest thing for some people to do, but if you are a people person, this would be a really super easy one for you to do. So what I want to do at this point is I want to show you guys a quick example of how we use remarketing really effectively for handling objections, which is the primary mechanism that we use. And in this example, we understood that the main objection was price. So what we were able to do is address that directly by being able to show people a super discounted price to kind of get them in the door. So here's an example of that. Check that out.
Hi, my name is Drew, and these are my pajamas, and this is my bedroom. I'm ready for bed, but I can't sleep. Wonder why? As you can see, I made a big mistake. I ordered about 5,286 times the amount of Organifi green juice that I actually needed. And apparently, I'm not as good at math as I thought. My bed is actually under here somewhere, but I've been sleeping at a very generous friend's house, and this is unfortunate for me. But it's really great for you. Here's why. Because I want my room back, and I have to get rid of these boxes. So I'm going to offer you a deal of a lifetime. I'm having a fire sale. I'm slashing these prices like a department store. I have to. I'm overstaying my welcome at my friend's couch, and I have to sell these fast. Now, I'm only showing this video to a select group of people, so if you're lucky enough to be watching this right now, listen closely. Here's what I need you to do. Today only, right now, you can save 50% off Organifi green juice.
So another really big strategy we use for remarketing is testimonials. And there's a couple different ways that you can use testimonials. The first one that we do is like what I call a testimonial story, where basically we're trying to, have testimonials that really kind of paint a picture. So you want to go look at, whatever clients or customers that you have. If you have those already, you can use them. If you don't have them already, you can reach out to your clients or your customers and see if they're willing to share their story with you, because those are really, really valuable. A lot of times people can see themselves in your customers already, and it works extremely well. So that's what a testimonial story is. The other one that we use very effectively is what I call a testimonial stack, where we might just take the snippets from multiple testimonials and kind of stack them together, especially when we know, like, if there's multiple objections that we want to handle, we can do that inside of a testimonial stack by taking snippets from different testimonials and kind of combining them together. Really, really powerful strategy that I recommend that you look at your assets in terms of testimonials, either having your clients make them for you or customers make them for you, or using the ones that you already have. Also, any type of proof that you can provide or anything that like back up any claims that you make, especially if you can get a third party like that already has credibility in your industry that your prospects would recognize. For example, like a news source or like a publication. If you in for example, in the health and supplement space, there's a lot of like journals on this and that where they produce a lot of these kind of reports and things like that, where, these big companies, these organizations, some of them are schools, they're producing this stuff, and these schools like an MIT or somebody, people know MIT, they know Harvard, they know these brand names that if these people are saying that and you're saying that and you're using them as a mechanism to prove what you're saying, you're not just making it up, that's also going to be really, really valuable as well. So here's an example of an ad that uses testimonials. So check it out.
So take advantage and get 50% off today. Right? Oh my God. By now, you've probably heard the raving reviews about Organifi green juice. People are surprised at how delicious this really tastes. And they're equally impressed with all the amazing antioxidants that are in here. It's all organic. It's super fast to make, and women and men are loving the way that it makes them feel. My name is Drew, and I just wanted to say thank you and give you a special gift in just a few seconds.
So another key strategy that we use with testimonials is what we call bonus stacking. Basically, you're using, it's sort of like objections, but it's really more about value stacking. So when people believe that the value of what you have to give them is greater than the money that they got in their pocket, naturally what they're gonna do, they're gonna give you that money. So bonuses are a really great way to kind of stack the value, to increase the perceived value in the eyes of the prospect, to get them over their hump. And when you're doing your primary ad, sometimes it doesn't make sense to do all of that right in the ad, because now you're talking about too many things, right? In the primary ads, you want to keep it, focused on one message, one call to action. But in your follow-ups for people that didn't get over the hump, you can call out, a bonus so that you can say, you're also going to get this other thing. And then you go back to the primary call to action that you want. So it's a really good way of, adding that in there where you're not overcomplicating your primary message, because you don't want to try to get too cute and try to put too many things in there. And you really can use this as a kind of secondary conversion strategy, down the line for people who didn't take the action up front. Really, really cool strategy. So here's an example of bonus stacking. So a good friend of mine, business partner of mine, sells hair regrowth products. So his products help women regrow their hair. A lot of his clients have like alopecia and some of these other things. And so a lot of the feedback he was getting was, the products are great, but it was kind of like all of these other things that has nothing to do with his product that they were having issues with. So what he was able to do is go and get experts in this field and to create kind of like some digital products, some interviews and things like that with these experts to use as a bonus to his product. And it really helped his conversions out, quite a bit. So something to think about if you sell in e-commerce, you have a physical product, what are like some expert information that you can maybe package with it to really help, in terms of the perceived value of what it is that you're selling. So the action item here now is basically you want to try out some of these tactics in your remarketing creatives.